Hello everyone, welcome. Please tell me this is working. Okay, we're good, I think. All right. Okay, whenever anyone hops on, say hi. Let me know I'm not just hanging out here by myself. If I am, that's okay. There we go. Okay, hi Jen. Hello, Susan. Hi guys. Okay, I'm not alone, thank goodness. Hi, Amber. Okay, you guys, so I am here. Jackie asked me to hop on and talk about sales. So let's start from the beginning, okay? I signed up as an artist in March. So I'm about, what is that? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months-ish in. And let me just be honest, because when I first started, I had my mom and my sister on board. You know, I was so shy. Like, people are blown away by seeing me live on Facebook now. Like, they could never believe it. So when I first got started, I asked my aunt to host an online class for me, and that's just where everything kind of began. So I had my mom and my sister as my customers, and then I'm like, okay, I need to, get the momentum going, get something happening here. So then I just reached out to my aunt, and I'm like, hey, like, she knew I was doing this. She didn't per se ask, to try the makeup or anything, but I knew that I needed someone to help me. And we all have that friend or that family member or someone that can be our person to help us out, that you can always count on. And she was it. So she was my first class. I followed a template that our team has, and I just kind of went from there. And it was like a really successful class. I mean, it was really awesome. And then it was kind of like, okay, I can do this. So then I just started hosting classes and trying to find hostess and just keeping up that momentum. So let's talk about my classes, how I run them, and all that type of stuff. So I know one of the biggest questions is how you get hostess. And I know that's like the hardest part. Trust me, I've been through my fair share of messaging. I mean, I would sit down and message 25 people like, hey, do you want to host a class? And this was before I had customers even. Like, this was me reaching out to people that maybe liked or commented on one of my photos that I posted on Instagram or that I posted on someone's doing they can't hear me. Can anyone hear me? I hope so. Otherwise I'm just jabbering to myself for this whole time. Okay, Michelle can hear me. Good. We're good. Okay, so where was I now? Hostess, yes. So when I am looking for a hostess, I was starting out by messaging people that I knew, and what is that called? Your warm market. So family members, friends, just trying to get like everything out there and trying to get people to host for me. And I would hey, can you do me a huge favor? Like, I'm really trying to build my business here, and it would be a huge favor to me if you could host a class just to get this makeup out and reach more girls and just help me out. And majority of the time, people are going to say yes. Like, if you're like, you're not going to be desperate, but you kind of are, because you're like, hey, I would love if you did this for me. So that's where I kind of got started. I was just really honest with people, and I was like, hey, I want to grow my business, and this is how I got to do it. So can you please help me? And from there, I still reach out to people and ask for them to host. I have my beauty group, which is kind of like my sacred ground. I have all of my customers in there, and I post in there probably 3 times a month. So once a week, I post about my classes that I have. So I post a little graphic just saying like hostess wanted, and I'll make it all pretty for, like Halloween or Christmas or whatever. And then I will put the rewards little graphic in there as well. So I have those 2 graphics that I post once a week in my beauty group, but then I'm also always posting it in stories as well. And I will do the little poll, yes, I'm ready, maybe next month. Sometimes people vote on it and sometimes I get no one. Like, it's okay. You just gotta keep doing it. And no one knows that except for you, that no one voted on it. And maybe my husband voted on it. That's one. Like, it's okay. You just gotta keep going. Just keep doing it. So that is 2 things. So beauty group, posting on my stories about it. And then I also post about how much free stuff you can get, because that's like the biggest benefit for our customers, right? Like, they love this makeup. They want to host a class to get some free products. So I always have my girls, whoever hosts a class, when I close that class out, I kind of tell them like, hey, can you please, when you get your products, can you please post a picture on your Instagram, on your stories, on for sure my beauty group of all of the stuff that you got, and like post it in my group and let people know that you hosted this class and you got all of this stuff for free. Like, that's a huge thing, is that other girls are excited about these classes and that they had a successful one and they got these products. So, and even maybe if you've never I've done this before, if you've never hosted a party or if you've never had a really successful one, grab a picture. There's tons of pictures of our beautiful product, and just say, hey, would you like to get this free product? Or you could get all this makeup. Not saying that it's like, I hosted this class and I got this girl this makeup. No, you're not going to lie like that. You're just going to kind of twist the words and be like, hey, you could get this makeup. So that is another thing. Just keeping those momentum of getting rewards and sharing this makeup with your friends. So we've got the host, right? Now what? So I've honestly tried so many different ways about going classes. So when should I start them? When is the best time? I have literally tried everything, and it's honestly personal what works for who and who has, what your schedule is like and stuff. But for me, what I have found that my most successful party is when I create the party on a Sunday morning. I message my host. I'm like, hey, I created your party. I'll send the group link in that message. Like, here it is. It's ready for you to add your friends. I'll tell her if you want to write a welcome post, that would be amazing, with a either before and after or a selfie or a old makeup, new makeup, whatever she feels comfortable with, and however much she feels comfortable with is what I tell her to do. So have her do that welcome post. I also tell her to share it on her personal page so that her friends know the invite's coming, so they're not just thinking it's spam or, an annoying group thing that someone's inviting them to, because y'all know those happen. But after that, I just kind of let her roll with it and see where she takes it. And just kind of, I don't do a lot of coaching, honestly. I just kind of tell them, you need to make sure to interact with your girls, make sure to comment and like and tag your people. And that is the basics. Just keeping it, you don't want to flood them with a ton of information and they're like, holy man, what did I get myself into? I just keep it really simple. Like, hey, do a welcome post, share it on your Facebook page, make sure to interact. And then if I have problems with them down the road, I might be like, hey, you need to get in there and talk more because there's nothing going on. I've said that before. Just being honest with them. Like, hey, we need to get things rolling. So that is my first kind of thing that I do with them. And then as for the actual class, like I said, I started on Sunday. I create the group. A lot of times I change up the names of the group, so I will call it Rebecca's Hat Class or I've been doing hacking through the holidays, or I have done Sarah's contour class. I like to switch it up, or a lot of times a really, really fun one is doing my 5-minute face, or your 5-minute face, not my 5-minute face. Don't use my or I or anything like that. I've listened to a podcast and you're supposed to say you and yours when you're talking to customers. So I'll name it your 5-minute face. And that seems to be a good one because they're like, ooh, 5 minutes for my whole entire face? Okay. That's a fun one. Next, posting. So I always do a group when I do my classes, and I will start my posts on Sunday afternoon. I will do a welcome post. I will post the What is 3D Foundation video, and I will post like interactive, participation equals free makeup. So I'll give away either, depending on what I have in stock, honestly, you guys, if I have stuff that I have to give away, I'm going to put, you're going to win a free angel illuminator because that's what I have. So, and then once I do that, I have everyone check in there, and then I just start posting, and I post Monday. I'll do like 4 or 5 posts. Monday night, I'll go live, do a super quick, easy hack. Post throughout the day Tuesday, and wrap everything up Tuesday night. I will do a live video on our brushes and our compacts, and if anyone is like interested in eyeshadows, I will do a eyeshadow tutorial. And each of those videos I keep to no longer than 12 minutes. I don't know why 12, that's just my number. So I don't like to go over 12 minutes, because then if that was me, I'd be like, okay, done with you. So that is my class. And then I keep it open until the following Sunday. So that Sunday, I should say this, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will do like 1 or 2 posts about like maybe a specific one on an eyeshadow look, or a specific post on my before and after for that day. So just something to keep their interest, make sure they know that it's still there. I always do a Friday post of a sped up hack, because Fridays are money makers. That's when everyone gets paid. So I keep a sped up, like really simple highlighting contour, and I post that, so that gets everyone's interest again. And then Sunday, I will do a, like, hey, this is your final call for color matches, and final call for orders. The party is closing at 8 o'clock tonight. And that's my class. So I've also done a day class where I do everything in one day. Some have been good, some have been bad. You just never know. I have also done, this last couple of months, I have done Battle of the Hostess, which I love because that saves me a ton of time. And I will have 3 or 4 hostess in my class. I honestly prefer 3. 4 gets to be a little bit too much. I can't kind of keep up with how many people are in there and whose people are who. And I just prefer it to be a little bit more personal and more like interacting with specific people. And but when I do that, I kind of keep it as like a battle. So when someone orders, I'm like, hey, thanks Sarah for your order, you just pushed Amber into the lead. And people think that's fun. They like to battle and different things. And like I said, it saves me a ton of time, because I like to have at least 2 to 3 parties scheduled a week. And instead of doing 2 to 3 parties, I have 1 party. So instead of taking my makeup off and putting it back on, I just do the 1. So do you message yes? It depends. If it's a good class and I have a lot of interaction, I will not. But if it's a really slow class and not a lot of people are commenting, I will go through and I will add every single member that joined the group. And maybe like before I go live, I'll just be like, hey, I saw that you checked in Amber's contour class. I was just wondering if you were going to hop on for my live tonight. I'd love to show you, how easy this is. Or just something really simple, just to know that that I see them and that they feel like, oh, she's actually interested in me as a person rather than just, whatever. So I do that. Any other questions? How do you get your hostess? Incentivizing them. I have done an incentivizing post where I, say the first one to, if I have a spot open, like say today is Saturday and I have a class open for Sunday, I am going to incentivize that because I want to get that spot filled. And I kind of make that a priority to that, the urgency, quick, this class just came open. Someone hurry up and snag it. The first person to comment, I'll give you a brush of choice, or I will give you eyeshadow, or whatever you have on hand, because don't just go out of your way to waste your products. That's what I think. Do you have a script you offer to a hostess on how to have a successful class? How can they get the most rewards? I would say I just keep it really simple. Like I said earlier, just telling them, hey, this is your class. Make sure to interact. It's super important that you're engaging in these posts as well so that your girls know that you know and love this product. From there, if I start the class and she's not interacting, I had this happen last week. I had a girl and she had 2 girls interacting and she wasn't commenting. So I messaged her. I'm like, hey, we're on day 2 of our class, just touching base, kind of what's up. And she's like, oh my gosh, I've been so busy. I missed it. I'm like, okay, let's get on there. I said, if you can please get on there within 30 minutes and start commenting and tagging people, that's really going to help. And she did that. And just like that class turned around. I mean, she went on there and I have a first post about, the 4 parts of your 3D foundation. And I say at the bottom, have you ever contoured before? And she went in there and she tagged 2 people. She's like, did you ever try contouring? I never have, or something like that. So can you talk about how and why you don't take it too hard if a class didn't get any sales? I know a lot. You really cannot, you guys. I have had so many flopped classes. It is discouraging. I mean, you take your time to schedule those posts. You take your time to, find this hostess, and then you just never know. And that's kind of what I tell, because a lot of customers feel bad as well if they have kind of a crap class. They're like, oh shoot, I'm sorry for wasting your time. And it's just you know what? It's okay. It totally happens. You never know how many people are going to be there, how many people are going to be interested, what's going on in people's lives. And you just gotta, you still get that exposure, right? Just think of it as that. Hey, I was out there, I was live, I did these posts, people saw me. I always add the people that join the class, I always add them as a friend. So then they're seeing my stories, they're seeing my posts, they're still seeing stuff. It's not like it was a total flop, unless they don't accept my friend request, but bug off anyways then, because I didn't want to be your friend. So you just, honestly, you guys, you just wipe it off and keep going, because that's all you got to do. There's going to be those instances where things don't go good and things get frustrating, and you just got to keep going. You just got to keep the consistency and don't get down on yourself, and just wipe it off and start over with a new one and be like, this class is going to be better, or this class is going to be different. But the one thing I need to tell you guys that just came into my head, what you have to do, you cannot, not copy and paste and copy photos from classes. You need to customize these. So say, we all have these groups, different mock classes that we have on Facebook. It's a great starting point, but you cannot just copy and paste that every time, because Facebook is going to just swipe them away. They're like, hey, this is spammy. This was already posted. Bye. Every time I start a new class, I'm not going to obviously rewrite the wording, but I switch things up. I use new pictures for every post. I have some that I rotate through, and I maybe switch up the question, maybe switch up the title, things like that. So you cannot copy and paste and repost way too many times, because that's just insane, and Facebook will hate you. And you never know, because that could be a reason why it's flopping. Maybe if you're copying and pasting, Facebook doesn't want to show it to people. So maybe your class would be really awesome, but Facebook isn't showing that on their news feed. So that's a big thing that I have noticed really, really helps. How many more times can I say really helps? Okay, so where else? Any other questions, you guys? You do switch up pictures. Yes. So I just kind of have like this file in my phone or my computer of different pictures that I've found and saved, and just switch them up as long as same with the wording. Okay. Now, so I always wrap my classes up on Sunday, and I always tell people that your class is closed at 8, and I get my hostess stuff out to the lady, the hostess, like, hey, these are your rewards. This is how they work. I do a really, really detailed script on that, so they don't like come to me with, okay, and I want my free compact as a marble quad. Sorry, you can't do that. So I make sure to be really specific on what you can and cannot use your credits on. And then I make sure to tell her that, as soon as you get your list, send it to me so that I can close out that party at 8 o'clock on Sunday and kind of put that class behind me. Like, I don't want to keep rolling it over longer and longer and stretching it out. And then another big thing is, so you get these girls in this class, they order, and you want them to be lifelong customers. So that's a big thing. Like, we all know that we want these customers, right? So I will touch base with them, like, a week to 2 after they get their products, and I make sure they're in my beauty group, and just really making that personal connection with them and making sure they know that you're there to help them, and it's going to make them feel a lot more welcome and more interested in trying the product even from the beginning when they message you to be color matched. So that's like a big thing, is really making them feel welcome and like personal rather than just, a sale. So, do the number of guests matter? Should hosts have a goal of how many guests to invite? This one is kind of, this one's hard, because I know a lot of people like push their hosts to, get at least 25 to 50 or something like that. And I have had classes that have 12 people in them, and every single 12th person ordered. So really, that is, for me, I haven't found one or the other more beneficial. I would rather have 8 amazing girls in that class that are going to interact than 50 people that just keep scrolling and not even pay attention to what's going on. So it kind of depends on your hostess, and if she's just like spam inviting people, that's not really the best. And it's also, if they're only inviting their mom, sister, and friend, obviously they're going to know that maybe their rewards aren't going to be as much, and it's just kind of what they want to put into it. And maybe if you see that they didn't invite a ton of people, just kind of reach out and be like, hey, just kind of wondering what your kind of goal is. Maybe they just want to get half off a brush. And that's okay, you guys. If someone just wants to get half of a brush, you're still getting 5 or 3 new customers, new people seeing your face in your product. And it's honest, in my point of view, it's worth the time to keep going. So, spamming does not work. Yeah, that's... Okay, if you have a class that isn't qualifying, but the hostess is super close to rewards, do you keep it open as a rewards link? I do, yes. So maybe they only got one order for, $91, and I will, at the end of the class, just be like, hey, I thank you so much for doing this for me. It was still awesome. I'm going to keep this link open for you. So maybe if someone reaches out to you that decides to order later, or maybe if you have some products that you need, I'm going to keep this open for you until you are ready to close it out. So that is definitely an awesome thing to do. Let me see, any other questions, you guys? How many classes do you do a month? A month, suck at math. I go by weeks. I do 2 to 3 a week at least. So what is that? 12-ish I like to do. But that might be a battle of the hostess in one individual, because there's some people that don't want to do a battle of the hostess. That's totally fine. And it's really nice to just do the one-on-one individual. And like I said, the last month, and I was doing a lot of the battle of the hostess, and I feel like one hostess would have amazing interaction and the other would have some and the third would have none. And it kind of makes sense if you think about Facebook. I mean, if this lady's friends are commenting, they're going to show it on her news, on all of those people's news feeds. So I kind of think I might shy away from the battle of the hostess a little bit and just kind of experiment with those a little bit more, because I think that it's getting a little weird for me. I'm not quite sure. It was working out really well, but I need to kind of figure them out a little bit more. So sorry to confuse you guys. That just talked in circles. How many demos do you do in a party, and what of? I do a basic hack. I keep my classes super duper basic. I never use anything bigger than the quad palette. And I do my 4 colors with my 30-second hack brush, and that's it. And I will do that for sure one time on the first day the party starts. And then if I have a lot of interaction, I will hop on and do it again. Or I shouldn't say that if I have a lot of interaction, I don't do it again, because why waste your time? Everyone's already interested. And if I have not a lot of people, or some people are like on the fence, then I will definitely hop on and do another live. Super quick though, not really detailed, like honestly just doing my makeup and talking as I'm going. So as another one, but I for sure do another live demo on the brushes and our compacts, because people like to see the compacts in person when they can see that you can get, the double decker and you can fit a lot of fun things in there. Like they can see that in person and you holding it up and showing it to them. That's kind of a little push to go for something a little bit bigger. And then brushes are really confusing, because if you think about it, I mean, a majority of the people that are in this class don't know a ton about makeup, and when you post about all of the brushes, it's kind of confusing. So I always do a brush video and just kind of focusing on, you can totally just use one brush. Like you don't have to have all of these, but here are some fun options that you can add once you become obsessed. So do you just match them to one highlight then? I do not. I do the brightening as well. So I do the main highlight, the brightening, the contour, and then lip and cheek. And I just kind of keep it as, the dimensional. I really focus on dimension. And I recommend the 30-second hack. So when I color match, you guys, they send me their picture to be color matched, and I respond with, so excited, yay. And then I say a couple questions. First off, what do you prefer for blush and lip color? Because I want to be, I don't want to throw them sandstone if they hate, reds or bolder colors. So I ask them if they prefer neutral, pinks, bold. And then I will say, what type of coverage do you like? Do you like natural makeup or do you like more glam? So then they're like, oh, she's interested in what I want. She's not just going to chuck me some colors. So at least that's what I think they're thinking. I don't really know. It's just what I think. And then I will send them, so they'll respond back to that, and then I'll send them a really basic script. So here's your main highlight, your brightening highlight, your contour, your blush and lip. Since you like neutrals, nude or desert sunset will look gorgeous on you. And then I would say I think you would love the 30-second hack brush and the perfector sponge. And then I always suggest the stay spray to keep your makeup in place all day. And then I'll say if you want some suggestions for eyeshadows or bronzers or illuminators, there's tons of fun things. I would love to give you suggestions for that. So just kind of leaving it open-ended, that if they want to go farther, they can. How do you encourage sending selfies? I do So when I do my post about the selfie in the class, I will say, hey, this is my set your reminder. I always put like, write your sticky notes, set your alarm, set your whatever you need to do to remember to take your selfie in the morning. And I know this time of year is super hard for people to find that good lighting because it's very minimum, and that's like a struggle right now. I don't know if anyone else is struggling with that, but finding that right time to get your light is like so hard. So I make sure to have them get, like, a lot of times they have to wait for the weekend, which is totally fine. And I always do a reminder about selfies on Saturday morning because that's when a ton of people are hanging out at home with no makeup on. And so like right away at 6:30, 7 o'clock, I will schedule a selfie reminder post. So yes. Okay. All right, you guys. Any other questions here? You can always comment and I will go through and answer them. But like I said, now the key, I mean, you guys, don't get me wrong. I love classes. That is my jam. That's where I get most of my sales from. But I honestly still keeping my customers and treating my customers like gold, and those reorders are an amazing thing. You do like hardly any work for them, and it just is very, very rewarding when you have these customers coming back that they know they love this product and they trust you. So my girls in my beauty group, they have my heart. They definitely get they get most of my attention, honestly. I go live in my beauty group at least once a week. I post in there at least 3 to 4 times a week. I have a lot of giveaways in there, and that is just kind of making them know that I appreciate them. And I mean, new people that come in there, they can see the interaction that I have with them, and they just it's kind of like a community in my beauty group. Honestly, I love that place so much. Those customers of mine are seriously amazing. Chelsea said, how do you get so much interaction in your beauty group? Well, I guess that's kind of why, is I try to make them all feel welcome, and I do a lot of posts. I do a monthly giveaway on the top contributor for the group. So that's another big thing why people are commenting and posting so much, because the top contributor gets the big giveaway of the month. For what I post, I've actually had to kind of start like reposting things because I'm at that, like mark where it's like, holy moly, I have a lot of new customers that haven't seen this post that I did when I first got started, so I am kind of going back and restarting that. So really helpful things like people love to know which lip and cheek colors are matte and which colors are glosses. Like that's a huge thing people are interested in. Eyeshadow combos are a huge thing girls are interested in. They don't know which colors go together and how to put a look together, so I like to post about that. I do lives on like really easy things. Everyone knows in my group that I'm super basic, and I'm super not basic. I mean, I'm not basic, but I'm very easygoing. Like, I don't do extreme looks, but I guess that's why my people are there, because they like the ease and simplicity of what I do. So that's just my thing. I mean, obviously everyone has their thing. So just find what you know and love, and your people will come. I promise. Keep the consistency. People are watching you. They'll come. They'll love you. So I think that's it, you guys. I'm like way past like almost 35 minutes. So you guys can feel free to message me with any questions. I promise I will eventually get back to you. If I haven't yet, I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to voice message, but my Facebook Messenger like hates me when I try to voice message. So, but that's like the easiest thing to do. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a great night, and keep rocking those parties. Keep doing it, you guys. It'll be worth it, I promise. Okay, have a good night. See ya.